So Oliver pulls up helping Barry, but the staff is draining both of their life energy. Only one of them can survive this. Vandal runs up, grabbing the staff, and unleashes its full power, killing Oliver. We check on Team Arrow, and they get eviscerated. We start off with Cisco on a date with a baddie, and she would have been perfect, but her name is Calendar. It's like her parents didn't even try. But then we see she prepared some excellent dishes: the mashed potatoes, the green beans, and the perfectly cooked steak. Cisco got himself a queen. Not even he could believe it. But there's only one thing Cisco can do right now, and that's going for the kiss. But then Vandal Savage pulls up, hitting a superb cock block, and proceeds to start shooting his shot with Calendar. But Cisco will not fold under pressure, and he tells Vandal, paper trail your way out of here. But Vandal says, how about I scissors? And after seeing that, Cisco knew it was time to call up Barry, and Barry books it, sending Vandal to the floor. But Vandal has one more trick up his sleeve and chucks a knife at Cisco, and Barry barely manages to catch it, and Vandal Savage Houdini's.
Thank God, Barry.
Well, cat's out the bag now. So they all group up, trying to figure out what to do. And Joe suggests sacrificing some cops. Well, he didn't say that, but sending mall cops after Vandal Savage? He might as well have. And then Barry says, why don't we call up someone else? Why don't we call up something else? And then we see what Oliver's up to. And he just put up on Damien Darhk.
You brought arrows to a gunfight.
What guns?
Bro, this man is one of a kind. And the way Oliver said,
What guns?
the sheer confidence. He read Damien like a book. And I didn't even mention about 15 seconds ago, before Ollie pulled up, Damien was torturing this guy. But Ollie stayed stoic. Ollie stayed confident. Ollie stayed himself. And with no fear in his body, Ollie says,
What guns?
and this is something a lot of heroes don't have nowadays, that charisma. Look at Thea. She's practically quivering in her boots. And Diggle is trying to look calm, but under that mask, he's frightened. And now it's time for action. Team Arrow jumps down, and peep the camera angles. Sensational. And Ollie Mario stumps this guy, officially kicking off the brawl, punching his buzzo in the face, and then hitting a Spartan kick. You want some too? And Thea is putting in that work. Same with Diggle. They are completely squad wiping these boys. But then Damien pulls up, grabbing Oliver by his heart and starts draining his soul. But Barry pulls up, getting Ollie and the team out of there, and then tells them he needs their help. So Ollie brings Team Flash to the quiver base.
Also, I just noticed no sleeves. Don't you get cold?
I spent the better part of 5 years on an island in the North China Sea. I don't get cold, Barry.
Now, although I think the no sleeves are a terrible fashion choice, the confidence in which Ollie rocks it makes it fire. And we can even fact check what Oliver said.
I don't get cold, Barry.
When we see Nazi Arrow fighting against Killer Frost, she tries freezing Ollie, but Ollie was, dare I say, unfazed and cool-headed. And this proves what Ollie said is facts.
I don't get cold, Barry.
Cisco pulls up, straight hating on the quiver base, but it's coming from a place of love, so it's okay. And now Team Flash starts informing Team Arrow, and Ollie gets to grilling Calendar.
What else can you tell us?
I never met him before.
Well, there has to be some kind of connection.
No, I just moved here 6 months ago.
Why'd you move there?
I was drawn to the city. And then Cisco hops in, saying they came here to hide, not to get grilled. To which Ollie replies, you came here for my help, and this is what my help looks like. And then Barry pulls up saying,
Oliver, I just saved you guys.
saved. Bro, what is Barry talking about? With or without Barry, Ollie would have found a way out. And do you guys remember when Ollie actually saved Barry's life? Oliver did not once throw it in Barry's face, but Barry is doing it to him. And then Ollie tells us why he was grilling Calendar so hard. And that's because they brought Calendar to his city, not knowing who she is or why Vandal's looking for her. And because of this, Team Arrow is now unsafe. But Felicity steps up, bringing the Peace, saying let's go for drinks. And that was the right call, because Peace is now in the building. And then Barry and Ollie start talking it out. Barry says sorry for putting this on Oliver's plate, to which Ollie replies,
No, but I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you reached out.
and this shows Oliver's level of goatness. Once again, Oliver does not blame Barry for what he did. If anything, he's glad he did it. And for the people wondering, why does Ollie never call for Barry's help dealing with his villains? Well, here's the answer.
No, but I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you reached out. It shows a real maturity. And I would know that because I've never been that mature.
Bro, how can you not call Ollie the GOAT? And bro, it's not even just an Arrow. In every adaptation, this man Oliver is a GOAT. And just as things are going well, Vandal pulls up crashing through the window. Bro, is it really that serious? You could have just kicked the door down, but now you just caused a safety hazard within the crib. And Barry books it, getting Oliver his bow. Vandal chucks knives, Ollie fires a shot, and Barry starts catching the knives. But Vandal had one more knife up his sleeve and chucks it, hitting Barry. And how fast is Vandal Savage? Not only did he have time to throw a knife at the Flash, but he did it before Ollie's arrow could reach him. Ollie fires another shot, but it gets caught. So now it's time to box. Ollie runs up, missing the bow strike, but hitting the right hook. Blocks Vandal strikes, but gets hit with a liver shot and kicked to the ground. And bro, scenes like this show how goated Ollie is, because he gets right back up. Oh yeah, and Barry got up catching a knife. I guess it was cool. And Ollie starts letting it rip, straight spamming arrows. And then Thea comes in for the brother-sister Kamehameha, hitting Vandal on the left shoulder. Ollie shoots the right, putting Vandal out of commission. But Thea wants to put him in a coffin and fires the killing blow, leaving Ollie confused. And then he says,
This is why we ask questions.
bro, and that's facts. Oliver looks over the edge and Vandal is gone. And they immediately understand that this is not over. The team gets back to base and Cisco reveals he had a vision about Calendar being a bird. And then the power goes out, and when it turns on, we see Merlin pulled up, telling Team Arrow about Vandal. Telling Team Arrow that Vandal is immortal. Telling Team Arrow that there's no way to save Calendar. And since the truth hurts, Calendar goes to get some air, with Cisco following behind. And he comforts her, telling Calendar he will never let anything happen to her. And then she gets snatched by Birdman. Barry starts zooming across the city. Ollie is on his bike, and Calendar is on the roof with this dude. And apparently, back in the dinosaur ages, these two were lovers, but no time to explain. Ollie pulls up spotting Birdman and starts letting it rip, but Birdman hits Ollie off his bike, and now these boys are posted up. Ollie blocks the range attack, blocks the strike, but gets punched in the gut, weaves the hook, and hits him with a toothpiece. No drink, but gets kneed in the gut, and Thanos kicked to the floor. But Barry pulls up, getting grabbed to the sky, and then Birdman drops him, trying to turn Mantis into egg yolk. I'm going to say that again. Birdman, bird, tries to turn Flash into egg yolk. Is the joke not clicking? Birds lay eggs, and he's a... Never mind. But Ollie fires a grappling hook for Barry to catch.
I'm open to suggestions.
Oh, now you're listening to me?
It's your city, Oliver.
And now here's the plan. They gotta expose his wings. Birdman starts flying in, and Ollie is chucking arrows and weaves the strike, giving Barry the perfect opening to use the tornado move. And Ollie fires a lasso arrow, clipping Birdman's wings. Barry starts running in a circle and throws lightning at Birdman. And now Birdman is officially captured. And bro, look at how inspirational Ollie is. Diggle, Thea, Cisco are all copying his pose. Felicity tried to copy it, but she's not a high enough rank yet. Birdman wakes up and Calendar walks out, and Birdman tells everyone they have been lovers for over 4,000 years. And here's the craziest part. In every life they live, Vandal hunts them down and offs them. And he has done this 206 times. Bro, how do you go 0 and 206? Are you even trying? And the reason Vandal hunts them is because every time he kills them, he becomes more powerful. And then from the shadows, Merlin pulls up,
Is that the only way this guy knows how to enter a room?
telling Team Arrow that Vandal is looking for the staff. So Ollie tells Felicity to find it first, and then the team goes on a roof, and apparently Birdman wants Calendar to jump off the roof, and everyone is confused, but he does have 4,000 years of experience, and Ollie agrees with him. Calendar hops on the ledge and gets pushed by Birdman, and Barry books it, catching Calendar, and Birdman says time for round 2, which Cisco and Barry immediately decline, and then Ollie takes Barry to a one-on-one.
I think we let her jump. I get that you're desperate to help and you want to be the hero and you want to save her yourself, but I think she has to have a part in it too.
Ollie is such a goat. He understands you can't always be the one to score the game-winning goal. Sometimes you gotta make the pass. And people dare call Ollie a ripoff Batman? Batman can never have this much wisdom. I don't care how many monks he goes to. And while talking to Barry, Ollie comes to a realization and tells Felicity, scan Central City for the staff. And bingo, it's there. And these boys get suited up. And before we go to war, we check on Cisco. And once again, Calendar hops on the edge. But now we go back to Ollie and Barry, and they get greeted by Vandal. And Ollie aims that bow, but Vandal activates the staff, busting beams, while Ollie is busting arrows. But Vandal has a force field, so the arrows are useless right now. Ollie and Barry duck behind cover,
Any ideas?
Oh, now you'll listen to me?
It's your city.
and Barry's plan is to grab the staff. I mean, not as tactical, but I guess that'll work. Ollie fires an arrow, and Barry speed blitz Vandal, but gets blown away by a shockwave. So Ollie runs up busting arrows, and I gotta be real, we gotta fix this strategy, because Ollie gets blown away too. But then we check on Calendar, and she jumps off the edge and sprouts wings. It was so majestic that Vandal felt it in his bones, and this got him heated, so he decides to shockwave the whole building. But luckily, Barry gets himself and Ollie out of there.
So that's like a tie, right?
Yes.
I agree, that was definitely a tie. But the next battle is winner takes all. And now we see Team Flash heading to Laurel's farmhouse, and they start prepping up, and Oliver's gonna train Calendar.
Whatever you do, don't let him train you. I'm sorry, but when it rains, I can still feel where you shot me with those arrows.
Never mind, Oliver is not going to train Calendar. So in the meantime, Ollie goes to run something down, but Felicity runs him down, questioning him. But Oliver says,
You've just been not you.
Well, maybe it's too bright and sunny for me here.
And then takes his leave. We check on Cisco, and he's chatting with Calendar. That was until Birdman pulled up, subtracting him from the equation, and we see he brought this box, and it contains Calendar's drip. But now we go back to Ollie, and we see him stalking his ex. Wait. Okay, so I skipped a lot of the scenes involving her, and when I say a lot, I mean all of them, because I completely forgot that it was important for what will happen later on. But all you gotta know is Oliver thinks that child is his, which is why he was watching her. And then he hops out the whip, making himself known, questioning Samantha about William, to which Samantha replies,
William isn't yours. I told you I lost our baby, Oliver.
and leaves to go pursue her mom duties. But on her way out, she drops this hat, giving Oliver the perfect opportunity to grab a hair sample. And then he gets called up by Merlin, and he tells Ollie he arranged a meeting with Vandal Savage. Bro, you can really do anything when you're Ra's al Ghul. Barry starts booking it to the location, but then we see another Barry next to him. This is very strange, but we can't dwell on that because Vandal pulls up, telling Team Arrow to just let him kill Birdman and Calendar, to which Ollie responds, but Vandal pulls that arrow out and proceeds to say,
Robin of Locksley. I taught him how to use a bow.
I can't lie, that's a bar. And then Vandal starts giving a whole speech, to which Barry replies,
All right, I'm just curious. Did you rehearse that speech in a mirror this morning, or is this all just off the cuff?
and after having his aura shattered, he tells Team Arrow they have 24 hours to give up Calendar and Birdman, or it's bye-bye Central City. But you should already know, Team Arrow is not taking that deal, and Merlin was not happy about that and threatens Ollie before taking his leave. But now it's time to inform the team, and after hearing the news, Calendar storms out. We check on Barry and Cisco, and Barry tells him,
I think I'm gonna time jump.
and Cisco says,
Knowing the future might change the present, which might change the future.
What?
back to Calendar, she's talking about nicing herself so millions won't have to die. But then Birdman says millions won't die if we win, and tells Calendar to throw up her dukes. Yeah, no wonder they lost 206 times. But Calendar gets angry, spreading her wings, and tackles Birdman. And Felicity pulled up at the perfect moment, but she has some intel for them, and it's a VHS tape talking about Vandal, saying there might be a way to defeat him. And that's what the staff. We check on Ollie and Barry, and Ollie made Barry test a sample, and Ollie is in awe at the results and tells Barry.
Don't tell anyone about this.
And then Felicity pulls up.
They don't get paid, but what was that?
No, Felicity, what was that? How did you see that? And Barry folded it under zero pressure and gives the paper to Felicity, and she immediately understands what this is. Now, to be fair, this is kind of Ollie's fault. Why would you leave the paper with Barry? But now we check on Samantha, and Oliver pulls up, telling Samantha he knows the truth. And now you're probably wondering, why didn't Samantha tell him? And that's because Oliver's mother offered Samantha $1 million to hide the baby from him. And Oliver does not believe that nonsense. So Samantha shows him the check she never cashed. And the reason she didn't cash it is because she did not need $1 million to know that she didn't want Oliver's mother or him near the child. And Samantha tells Ollie not to tell anyone about William, including William himself and Felicity. And after hearing that, Ollie returns to base to find Felicity outside. How long was she waiting there? And then she shows Ollie the papers, and Ollie tells Felicity that it's complicated.
I don't care that you have a child. I can't believe that you have a child that you didn't tell me about. I care that you lied to me just now.
Ollie lets Felicity know he just found out himself and wanted just a minute, just 1 minute to process this by himself, but Felicity is not going for it.
But you don't trust me. You never will. How can I be with someone who doesn't trust me?
And then walks away. But since Ollie couldn't get 1 minute to process that he had a child, he doesn't get 1 minute to be sad and heads into base. And here's the plan. Calendar will attack with the element of surprise. Ollie will lay down cover fire. Barry will grab the staff, and the rest of Team Arrow gets benched? I don't know if that's the right call, but it's time for war. Team Arrow pulls up on Vandal Savage. And hold up, Calendar is making this 4,000-year-old drip look magnificent. But now it's time for action. Ollie grabs Vandal's arm, hitting him with a 2-piece. Barry frees Calendar and Birdman, but gets blasted in the process. Oliver gets back up, disarming Vandal. Birdman spreads his wings, and Calendar... Oh no, but there's still hope. If Oliver is still standing, there's still a chance. Ollie misses the bow strike twice, gets hit with a right hook and a size 12 to the face. Vandal then chucks 2 knives, offing Birdman. Calendar is seeing this, she gets enraged and runs in, just to get stabbed, and gets her soul sucked. Ollie fires an arrow, but it gets blown away by Vandal's aura. Barry runs up, grabbing the staff, and starts blasting it at Vandal, but the gauntlets aren't working, so Oliver pulls up helping Barry, but the staff is draining both of their life energy, and Oliver understands only one of them can survive this, so he tells Barry,
Run, Barry. Run.
and then Barry gets blasted away. Vandal runs up, grabbing the staff, and unleashes its full power, killing Oliver. Barry sees this and starts booking it, and we see everything is getting destroyed. We check on Team Arrow, and they get eviscerated, but Barry is still running, and then he sees himself and officially runs back in time. Barry and Ollie get back to base, and Barry tells Ollie their plan isn't gonna work and starts breaking everything down, telling Oliver that he time traveled, Ollie's head wasn't in the game, he also has a kid, and everyone dies. Ollie pulls up on Cisco, telling him to triple check the gauntlets and to also talk to Calendar, and Cisco does just that, working to perfection, causing Calendar to have a whole flashback, figuring out how to actually defeat Vandal. The team groups up, and basically, the gauntlets are missing 2 rocks, and Barry goes to grab them, and now here's the plan. Calendar is the ace in the hole, Ollie and Arrow be GOATs, and Team Arrow is in the starting lineup. Team Arrow pulls up on Vandal, and when Vandal goes to attack, Ollie takes a step back and sets the birds free. Birdman runs up, getting sent flying, and Calendar unleashes her wings, bringing Vandal to the floor, and then Team Arrow pulls up busting, but the busting's not working, so it's time to box. Diggle, Laurel, and Thea get sent back. Diggle runs back up, getting flipped into CTE. Oliver sees this and lets it rip. Barry runs in, grabbing the staff, and starts blasting, and once again, Oliver pulls up helping Barry, unleashing the bros Kamehameha, and officially vaporize Vandal, like he is literally dust. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please share it with a friend, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Peace.